Alrighty, year 8, this video is going to show you how to use numbers on your iPad to draw that graph we need for our science experiment. So hopefully you've already installed Numbers. When you start it up, you're probably going to see a screen a little bit like this. We want to make a new spreadsheet, so we press that big plus button in the corner. Comes up with this. We want a blank one, so top left, and you should see a screen something like this. So on the screen we want to make basically a copy of the table you probably would have already drawn in your book last week. So first thing is put the headings in. So in that first cell there, it's coded in blue, or sorry, it's surrounded in blue. Double press on it, and this screen will come up. Now about in the middle on the left there's 4 little circles. We want the one that looks like a T, so we press on that, and that brings up our regular keyboard. And in here I'm going to write time, and in brackets MINS for minutes, to show that my time was measured in minutes for that experiment and not seconds or hours. Once I've done that, I press onto the next cell. That's what that box is called, the next cell to the right. And I put in temp, no salt, for the first one we did without any salt in the beaker. And then in brackets, I'm going to put a capital C for degrees Celsius, because that's how we measured temperature in Australia. Then press on the next one across and put temp salt for the one that you put 6 grams of salt into, and a capital C for that too, because we measured the temperature of that in Celsius as well. Rightio. So that looks not too bad. I might just bring my keyboard down. That's not too bad, but I would really like that middle column to be a bit wider so everything fitted on the same heading. It wasn't like the C on the second row. So to do that, if you look above where it says table 1, there's a whole bunch of little boxes by themselves. And if you press on any one of those little boxes, it will select the whole column. So I'm going to press on the little box that's directly above where it says temp, no salt. And if I do that, the whole thing gets covered in a big blue border. And in the top right hand corner of that big blue border, there's 2 little vertical lines. So I press on that. And once I've done that, I can drag it, by holding my finger down, I can drag it backwards and forwards as much as I want. So I am going to pull it in so that it is just wide enough to have everything on one line. Whoops, a bit more, there we go, beautiful. Once I've done that, I can start putting some numbers in. So I'm just going to put in any old numbers. I'm going to make them up. Double press in there again. This time I want the number keypad, so I'm in the right spot. I'm going to put 0. And then to go into the box below, I press the big next button, not the small one, the big one. And it takes me to the next thing. Now this is the first one there was 0 minutes, the next one will be 30 seconds. But I don't want to put 0 semicolon 30 in here, I want to put 0.5 for half. Because 30 seconds is half a minute, so I put 0.5, and that's the same as 30 seconds. Got to do that because otherwise if I put 0:30 the computer gets confused. Press next. 1 minute, 1.5 for 1 minute 30, 2, 2.5, 3, whoops, 3.5, I'll go up to 4. How far you went depends on how long your experiment did, but I'm just making up numbers here. Alright, then put in some made up temperatures, 23, 37, 52, 72, 86, 99, 102, 102, whoops, 102, 102. Remember that when water is boiling, and the idea was to keep doing the experiment until the water boiled, when water is boiling its temperature stays the same and it doesn't go up or down. So I can tell by the fact that after 3 minutes it stayed at 102 that the water must have been boiling. And then for this one here, I'm just going to make up some numbers again. Don't think that the numbers I'm putting in here are the correct answer, these are just stuff I'm making up. So go on the results of your own experiment and don't just copy what I've got here. Alright, once I've done that, to get rid of that, I press the keyboard, I press done in on the right there, and now if I drag, that's my table, and that doesn't look too bad. The only thing I might want to do there is just put a border around it. So to do that, I click in the top left hand cell. Now I've got a little blue border around that one that says time, and 2 dots, one in the top left hand corner and one in the bottom. If I press on either of those 2 dots and drag, I can highlight the whole thing. So I'm going to press in the bottom right hand one, and then I'm going to drag until I've covered the whole of my little table in that box. And once I've done that, I go up to, I think, the paintbrush here, and then I go to border style, and I put all. The one looks like a little bit like a window, so I put all, and that puts a border around every little cell in there. So that's looking pretty good. Now I could probably take that and copy it into my Pages document where my rest of my report is. But more importantly, now I'm ready to draw a graph, and that's going to be the part of the next video. Alright.